All right. So this is the day after Halloween, and it is November 1st. It is 5 days before Election Day. We are under an extreme debt in America. Many believe that is the biggest problem facing these United States. And we are under a true cultural divide. Now, again, this is just my opinion. We are under a very toxic ideology, which I call woke leftism. The origin and evolution of woke, the term woke originated from African American vernacular English used to describe awareness of social and racial issues, particularly in the perspective of marginalized groups. But it has been perverted, and there are these people will lie to gain advantage, and they will distort figures. They will manipulate to gain power. Now, critics within the leftist circles might argue that what's being labeled as woke leftism can sometimes detract to broader class-based analysis, focusing much more on identity politics. And the right uses the word woke as a pejorative to criticize what they perceive as excessive political correctness, and that's what we're living under. We are living under the weaponization of offense. And I want people to be able to combat this, to be aware of it, so you can combat. So what we need to do is educate yourself. The core tenets of the ideologies that I'm resisting are that others, and I wish others to resist, perhaps even reading original sources and where these come from as much as humanly possible. And don't overthink. And also, I would add, try not to engage. I try not, I say I'm not going to, and then something else ends up happening and I end up engaging. But engage in good faith. But that's with good faith people. Critical thinking. One should apply skepticism not just to the woke left, but to all information that you encounter, because you don't want to get caught up in logical fallacies. Because if you come in too strong, like you're going to throw a haymaker verbally, the same thing within a fight. If you think you're going to knock the other person out with a good haymaker, and they're able to block that and then counter with another thing, with another punch, then you're going. Oftentimes the more confident you feel on your argument, the quicker that argument gets absolutely cut down. And again, we're living under outrage culture, and the legal and institutions, the weaponization. There's been a lot of self-censorship and polarization, moral enterprise, without any form of critical perspective. And I think the main thing one should do is stay grounded in reality and take forms of personal responsibility. And if you stay grounded in reality and are maybe even open to somewhat changing your mind, you cannot do this with someone who is not in good faith. And one should realize a master manipulator. When a person is a master manipulator, master controller, which a lot of the woke leftists are, they're extreme egotists at best, perhaps even full-blown narcissists at worst. And you cannot deal with someone who is acting in a histrionic fashion. There are people you should just walk away from. And again, I think the best way you can deal with someone who is a manipulator, who has gotten into the system, is through strategic boycotts. Because they're not going to, if 1 million people start speaking in unison, that's not going to do any good, or it won't have the same impact if 1 million people start boycotting in unison, start spending their dollars in other places. And that would be the best way to defeat, or at least bring to toe, the toxic woke left. Anyway, this has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'm on 2 YouTube channels, Inflammatory Talk, Transparency and Merit, and I have 3 X channels, Walk Against the Woke, Mr. Midnight Movie, and also Transparency and Merit. Again, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening.